Zack Snyder's talent as a filmmaker is truly extraordinary, with his ability to craft shots that resemble moving paintings bordering on the divine. As a devoted fan who has eagerly consumed all of his works, I couldn't contain my excitement when he announced his ambitious Rebel Moon project. Finally, the moment arrived when I dove headfirst into Rebel Moon 1 and 2. But as the credits rolled, a revelation hit me like a lightning bolt. The signs had been there all along, subtle hints that I had overlooked. Now with the truth illuminated, it's clear Zack Snyder will forever be first and foremost an action director. If you want a jaw-dropping visual feast packed with intense action, just hand Zack Snyder a script and he will never disappoint. He can turn any scene into a mesmerizing work of art, leaving you spellbound with his mastery. Even when given a story about owls, he manages to make epic fight scenes that leave you in awe. But when it comes to crafting engaging stories with compelling characters, well, let's just say his track record with films like Army of the Dead, Rebel Moon, and even Sucker Punch might not quite hit the mark. The problem lies in Snyder's writing skills. While he possesses brilliant ideas, his storytelling execution falls short. This issue has been glaringly obvious to me since Sucker Punch. For the record, I actually enjoyed the movie. I thought it had potential to becoming a great piece of filmmaking. However, I felt like it missed the mark. Sucker Punch could have delved deep into the themes of abuse and trauma, with the intriguing character of Baby Doll serving as a vessel for exploration. Instead, the film leaned heavily towards action. The action scenes were undeniably impressive, with breathtaking visuals and cinematography, but they overshadowed what could have been a profound character study. Snyder's inclination towards action directing seemed to prevail once again in Army of the Dead. It boasted a fantastic concept, a heist movie set amidst a zombie apocalypse with a twist, a zombie civilization complete with alphas and superhuman zombies. The film was brimming with intriguing ideas: zombie robots, zombie tigers, zombie reproduction, even time loops. Yet despite these promising elements, the execution and presentation fell short, muddled and disjointed. The action sequences and fight scenes dazzled, with stunning camera work and superb character designs. However, the story lacked depth and the characters felt one-dimensional, save for a few exceptions. While Army of the Dead provided an enjoyable experience, it was impossible to ignore the glaring flaws in its writing. Rebel Moon suffers from the same issue. While boasting stunning visuals and gripping action sequences, the execution of the story falls short. Snyder, as a writer, struggles to fully realize his fantastic ideas, often leaving them feeling underdeveloped and lacking depth. One major flaw lies in the dialogue. Snyder's films rely too heavily on expositional dialogue, where characters awkwardly explain plot points or motivations in a forced manner. The dialogue may lack subtlety, emotional depth, or authenticity, with characters bluntly stating their feelings rather than allowing them to naturally emerge through actions or expressions. This tendency towards overly dramatic or cliché dialogue is especially noticeable in Rebel Moon, leaving the audience feeling drained and disconnected. Character development is another area of concern. Often, Snyder's characters lack well-defined arcs or motivations, feeling static and devoid of growth and challenges that make them compelling. Coupled with the excessive exposition and drawn-out slow-motion backstories, the experience becomes draining. Rebel Moon suffers from this as well. Snyder's approach to exploring character backstories and motivations is flawed. A skilled writer can effectively convey a character's backstory and motivation with just a single line of dialogue. No need for flashbacks or slow-motion sequences, just well-written dialogue that offers insight into the character's thoughts. This type of writing allows actors to deliver performances that resonate with the audience, fostering genuine connection and empathy. And then, there's also the relationships between characters that feel rushed or underdeveloped most of the time in Snyder's films. Emotional connections that are meant to drive the story may not be fully realized, such as the romance subplot between Sofia Boutella's character and her love interest in Rebel Moon. This subplot felt out of place and lacked depth, leaving viewers disconnected from the characters. Furthermore, Snyder's films often suffer from uneven pacing, with some scenes dragging while others feel rushed. This inconsistency can make it challenging for the audience to stay engaged throughout the film, a prevalent issue in Rebel Moon. Additionally, Snyder's tendency to make lengthy films exacerbates this problem. Lengthy movies can be enjoyable, but when combined with uneven pacing and drawn-out exposition, they can become tiresome and dull. It's disappointing that despite having ample runtime and creative freedom, Snyder's storytelling still falls short. Other writers are able to craft more compelling narratives and effectively convey their ideas and themes in shorter runtimes, even with limited budget and time constraints. This discrepancy highlights Snyder's struggle to translate his great ideas into captivating presentations, leaving audiences puzzled and unsatisfied. Snyder seems to rely heavily on spectacles in his films, where the breathtaking action sequences and visuals often overshadow the plot and character development. As a result, the movie can feel more like a showcase of impressive visuals rather than a cohesive narrative. While anything written, produced, and directed by Zack Snyder is undeniably visually stunning, it tends to lack narrative strength. Interestingly, the films that are considered to be his best were not solely written by him. For instance, Watchmen was written by Dave Gibbons, David Hayter, and Alexei. 300 was written by Zack Snyder, Kurt Johnstad, and Michael B. Gordon, with input from Frank Miller, and Dawn of the Dead was written by James Gunn. Even Man of Steel and Batman v Superman were collectively written by Chris Terrio, Christopher Nolan, and David S. Goyer. This observation is further supported by the disparity in Rotten Tomato ratings between films solely written by Snyder and those he did not write or co-write. It's evident that the films he didn't write or co-write are generally regarded as objectively better. At the end of the day, I get Snyder's approach as a visual storyteller, where he places emphasis on visuals over traditional script writing. His knack for using visuals and action sequences to convey emotions or information not explicitly covered in the script is what draws me to his work. However, when given excessive creative freedom, his writing tends to suffer. He truly excels behind the camera rather than with a pen. Pairing Snyder with talented writers who can refine and enhance his ideas on paper seems like the optimal solution. His concepts are brilliant and captivating. They simply require the same level of meticulous attention he applies to his filmmaking. But yeah, that's just my opinion anyways.